But we're going to hop in to our banger of a match. It is the semifinals of the KSL Week 35. The games have already been great. They're just going to get better. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner of Solaris, we have Dragon Kitesy Gaming's Hero. The 14-time KSL champion Hero. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner has looked fantastic in a lot of the big events this year. But his results in KSL may be leaving a little bit to be desired. Can he break free today, though, and take down the KSL champ? It is Cloud9's GuMiho. GuMiho looking strong against Oliveira, although I feel like those games are not necessarily the best test of how he's feeling right now. He did have some excellent micro in Game 3, though, and I feel like that was the best showing that we've seen from GuMiho so far. He's had a pretty short bracket today, though, just fighting Oliveira before this one. So, I don't know if GuMiho's too warmed up right now. Maybe he's feeling a little cold in the hands. Hero might have a bit of an advantage there. I was just saying before the game that Hero definitely going to be the favorite in this. GuMiho struggled against Protoss, especially in these kinds of open bracket situations lately, and I feel like he's struggled against Hero specifically lately. Where every time I see them fight, it feels like Hero just has the upper hand most of the time. But GuMiho does have some cheeky builds up his sleeves. He might be able to bust something out in one of these games that surprises Hero, catches him off guard. But I also feel like I've seen GuMiho do a lot of like weird off-the-wall stuff. His straight-up bio play is actually so strong that I feel like that might be the way to go. I don't know. It's a straight-up macro bio. Hero's going to drop the Twilight Council. Are we going to see 4-gate blink out of Hero? These are the important questions. While we wait for that answer and enjoy a little Adept on Reaper action here, while this SCV desperately tries to finish the CC, oh, look at it go. Its friend to finish that CC. Beautiful. I'll remind everybody that we do have a Matcherino for this event. Please consider checking that Matcherino and adding 25 cents to the prize pool by clicking the claim code button. If you would like to donate to the prize pool, you can do that on the Matcherino if you really like the players in today. If in general you'd like to support the tournament, we do have a Patreon where you can get replays and give money to the best players in Korea who play in this every single week. Fully crowd-funded event we have here. We have no sponsors. Our sponsors are the community. If there was a definition of grassroots in the dictionary, you would see the KSL logo next to it. And then like a picture of grass. But there's just the roots of the grass. But yes, big shout out to all of our supporters. Thank you. If you're a supporter of the KSL, if you're a patron, it means the world to us to be able to put this tournament on. I'm really happy to be able to do it. I know the players are super, super thankful to have these kinds of tournaments on, especially in light of GSL prize pool not being what it once was. And obviously they're doing crowdfunding as well, and I'm sure there's a lot of overlap there of people supporting both. Those are the true heroes of the Korean scene. This is also a true hero of the Korean scene, but there's heroes and then there's heroes. And not all heroes wear capes, and not all of them play Protoss. But all right, GuMiho being annoying with the double Cyclone drop here, but it does get discovered, so he's going to just back up with it. It looks like GuMiho is planning a 2-base push here. He's got a second Rax finishing up, a third Rax on the way. There's no third CC. He is getting a Raven out. I love this tank is a little off kilter. It's tilted up. So he got the Raven, but he didn't get the Interference Matrix upgrade, which means he won't be able to shut down the Colossus or Colossi that are inevitably going to come out of Hero's Robo here momentarily. There he goes. He starts one up. So this is Blink into Colossi out of Hero. He's got a third base on the way, but just kind of macroing up. GuMiho's going to move out with this double Cyclone again to at least kill that Observer. He's got the Raven to the north side. He's going to try to harass with some auto turrets. But right now, he's just building Marines, getting Stim. He's got +1 on the way. GuMiho's going to have a strong push in a little while, but by the time he has that push, I think Hero's going to be very ready for this. And this is the kind of build I don't love to see out of GuMiho. I don't feel like this plays to his strength super well. Now he has to wait for Stim and +1. The auto turret's getting a little bit of damage done, a couple of probes going down, but the blink forward in this Raven is already super duper low. And I don't think it's going to get much more done. In fact, it's just going to die. Only 2 probe kills there. Did force the recall. That's about it. And GuMiho still waiting for these upgrades to finish before he can really move out. That's going to give time for Thermal Lance to finish up. Charge might be done by the time GuMiho hits the other side of the map. There's certainly going to be a second Colossus, maybe even the third one. And all that worries me because GuMiho, while he has a lot of stuff, by the time he hits the other side of the map, I mean, Hero's army supply is inching closer every moment. And Hero, he's just going to be on a much better economy. Now, GuMiho's third base is almost done, so he's not super committed to this push. Oh, and the tanks are going to siege up, actually blast some of these Stalkers. A big Stim as well. GuMiho trying to catch a few of these guys, and he is going to catch a few of these guys. 2 Stalkers blink away. No, that's a follow-up Stim. I think that's going to be all the dead Stalkers. Can it get out of there? Oh my god, Hero saves it. The 1 Stalker lives. But that's a great victory for GuMiho, who is about to take his third base. And you know what? I always discount GuMiho's ability to build SCVs. But he's only 5 workers down as his third base lands. Obviously, it was inefficient for a while here, so Hero's going to take a big spike in his favor. But it should drop back down to, honestly, it should be in GuMiho's favor. With Mules dropping 3 worker difference right now, GuMiho is going to have the income lead for a little bit. Or at least even income. He's ahead a bunch of army supply. Hero's army was very ready for that push, I think. But I don't know if he can counterattack unless GuMiho's on siege. Oh no, GuMiho not watching for a second there, loses 2 tanks right off the bat. He pulls one back and sieges up, but Hero just moves to the north side. And GuMiho, I was just talking up all of the good things going on in this game for GuMiho. And Hero just walks into the base and kills 2 of the unsieged siege tanks. Gets 5 SCV kills, forces a bunch of lost mining, the lifted CC. I mean, that was all damage that didn't need to happen if GuMiho was just sieged up. It's crazy how big of a difference that makes. I don't know, those looked like 2 Cyclones in the middle of the map maybe. Going down as well. And Hero's going to take a 4th base with that. I mean, this is all of a sudden turned on its head. I still think GuMiho's in a fine position. The army supplies are still very similar. The worker counts are very similar. He's got some Widow Mine drops trying to be annoying here. So I don't think they're going to get too much done. But, yeah, I don't know. That could have been much better for GuMiho. Crazily enough, he still has traded better. And I think that comes down to a lot of the Stalkers that died earlier. But, yeah, I don't know. You know what? That didn't end up being as bad for GuMiho as I had feared it was going to be. And Hero playing very carefully there, not getting maybe as much damage as he could have. Not trying to dive on the army after getting those 2 tank kills. It's allowed GuMiho to build that army back up. He's got a lot of bio. He's got Ghosts out now. He's getting Vikings out to deal with the Colossi, but I don't think he actually has any out on the field at the moment. Oh, I'm wrong. I would be wrong for thinking that because he's got 4. To deal with 3 Colossi, I feel like he's going to want like 8 or so. And Hero's going to have to start getting into Disruptors, I think. I feel like you need to get Disruptors out to start dealing with this army of GuMiho. The heavy charge lot play here from Hero is just not going to cut it against that much bio. I will say, despite GuMiho's earlier lead in upgrades, I mean, they've kind of ended up staggering, right, with the 2 upgrades at a time here for Hero. +2 is about to finish for GuMiho, but that's going to be his last upgrade lead for a while. Because once Hero finishes up 2-2, he's just going to be ahead. And it's going to be very hard for GuMiho to regain that lead. He does have a second eBay, though. So if he starts up +3 at the same time as +2 armor, yeah, he's actually going to be just fine. He's going to be just fine. This game is actually still looking great for GuMiho. Hero only going up to 69 workers. He does not have a lot of gas mining at either his 3rd or his 4th base. And GuMiho's pushing forward, man. He's going to take down 2 Colossi. What is Hero doing, man? Hero losing so much. He's going to turn on the overcharged shield battery. But the Vikings just crushing this air army. Where are the disruptors? Where's the AoE? It's nowhere to be found. And GuMiho's bio army is just going to stutter step against this for days. There's no real damage here. The EMP's laying down on top of everything. And Hero just doesn't have anything. GuMiho is going to stomp in game 1. I mean, I was all talking up how Hero's the favorite and GuMiho's been struggling against Protoss. But GuMiho did exactly what I said that I thought he needed to do, which is just play straight up bio. And despite kind of a bungled first fight there with the tanks on siege, GuMiho's won this game. At this point, this is Hero on copium or Hero trying to figure out what he's going to do in the next game to change it up. Because he is under 100 supply and GuMiho's chilling at 175. There's just nothing Hero can really do here. GuMiho would have to throw this game. I mean, I don't think GuMiho's been sub to Sal. So I'm not sure if GuMiho has the capability to throw a game this hard. Hero's quite good. He can pull off a lot of comebacks. I just don't think this is one of them. Maybe if there was a disruptor. I mean, what we really need to see here from Hero is a disruptor. GuMiho's going to go in for the attack. The super shield battery turns on. He's going to go in anyways. He snipes it down. Colossi from the backside here. Oh, this is a lot of stuff for Hero. It doesn't matter, though. GuMiho's got just too much stuff. It looks like Hero's going to push this back for now. But, I mean, this is small victories for Hero. He's going to gather his forces, but GuMiho's just going to pull back into the same thing. Even a Widowmine getting a shot off there. GuMiho is still ahead 73 supply right now. Maybe if Hero catches him out of position, but the Widowmine showing him exactly where that army is. GuMiho going to stim forward to get on top of this. The force fields are beautiful. Hero's making a game out of this that really shouldn't be happening. The blink forward kills one of those liberators. The bio, GuMiho has just said, screw it. He's going across the map. But as Hero decides to take the fight in the middle of the map, GuMiho says, actually, that's totally fine with me. I'm a big fan of taking these fights in the middle of the map because I will win them. Hero fighting it out. But yeah, it was pretty hopeless. Once you fall to like 70 supply after a fight, you lose 2 bases against your opponent who's just chilling and macroing back at home and has a huge army still on your side of the map. I mean, GuMiho played that safe. He didn't just try to gun straight into the natural or something. I feel like he could have. But, yeah, GuMiho dominating that game. It was pretty straightforward. It kind of felt like a Wings of Liberty TVP in some ways, where, like, it felt like Hero forgot disruptors exist or something. Because once the Vikings killed the Colossi, there was just nothing really left for Hero. The Vikings just chased the Colossi, killed 2 of them before any of the fight even happened, and then the game just kind of ended from there. I'm not really sure what Hero's game plan was past that. I really feel like you need disruptors, or you need something like, if you're going to stick on that kind of an army, I think you need something like Blink DTs, where every time the Terran's moving out, DTs are going in, or Zealots are going in. We didn't see any counterattacks from Hero. I gotta say, it felt like a bit of an off game from Hero. GuMiho played that very well, but it felt like GuMiho just macroed and saw that Hero wasn't doing the things that I feel like a Protoss needs to be doing, and took advantage of it. And I talked about it earlier. It's kind of a superpower of him, though. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner, our red Terran for Cloud9 Gaming. It's GuMiho. His opponent in the upper right for Dragon Kitesy, it is Hero. But yeah, that is kind of like a GuMiho superpower, right? It's the same thing Oliveira has, where maybe he plays a little bit off kilter. You know, it's not what Hero expects. I talked about the possibility of a 2-base all-in in that last game. And it looked like GuMiho might be doing something like that, but it would hit super late, and Hero was getting all prepared for it. And it did kind of feel like Hero was getting prepared for a 2-base all-in, right? His upgrades were going to nail it for that. But when that wasn't happening, when GuMiho was just macroing, he did just have a 3rd base. He killed a handful of Stalkers and then was like, oh, actually, I'm doing fine. All of a sudden, Hero felt like he didn't have that many probes if he's fighting 3-base to 3-base. He had some Colossi, but he didn't really have anything to follow that up. And it put him in a bit of a weird position where maybe he was expecting some sort of big attack from GuMiho, and GuMiho was more than fine to just play out the macro game in that position. Hero took a good fight, and I don't know if he was expecting GuMiho to immediately counterattack, but again, no gases at the 3rd and 4th. I don't know. It just felt really weird from Hero, and maybe like Hero was expecting the game to go differently than it did. And then by the time he realized, oh, that's not where this is going, I do need to macro and get into something else, it was like too late, right? The Vikings were killing the Colossi. He was flustered. He was on the retreat. And you need splash damage against Terran Bio. You just do. Terran Bio will kill gateway units. They will kill Immortals. They will kill Archons, especially with the Ghosts there. The Terran Bio, it's just a stronger composition than a gateway-based army from Protoss. If they're, you know, even supplies, relatively even upgrades, and the Terran can micro well. You need that splash damage, even if it's just a couple of storms to help zone, but really the disruptors, the Colossi, those are key units. The counterattacks is something that, again, we just didn't see come out from Hero, and I don't know if he didn't have time to get into them. But things like Blink DTs and Charge Lots running into the Terran base can be very difficult to deal with for the Terran on, you know, 4 bases or so. Even getting that 3rd base up, it can be quite vulnerable to those run-bys. Yeah, I mean, chat, you got it. Terran Bio is tier 1 to 3. But it very much depends on how well you can micro it, right? It has quite a few weaknesses. But one of its major weaknesses is just splash damage. It's just that AoE. It packs very tightly. Marauders have more hit points, but usually it's going to be Marine heavier compositions. And Marauders have quite a bit more weaknesses than Marines do in a lot of ways, right? Like, the Immortals would have been great there in that last game if GuMiho had been, like, super heavy Marauder. Or you could just build, like, I don't know, a few air units. Even Charge Lots start doing a lot better if the composition becomes too heavy in Marauders. But Marines pack so tightly, they have so few hit points, you can micro them all over the place. But with things like Disruptors or Storms, all it takes is missing a couple of EMPs, a couple of High Templars with the EMPs, or even hitting them once but not a second time. They can still have Storms available. But speaking of AoE, Probes also very susceptible to this. The Stalkers blink forward, but all 4 Widow Mines get out. Good splits from Hero, though. 4 Probes going to go down. I think one mine got lifted back up. There's no armory with this. So all the mines will get cleaned up here. 4 probes for 4 mines and a medevac. And the Hellions and Reapers try to dive in at the same time, but Hero, with a beautiful block there, takes an excellent trade to start things off. It looks so dicey for the probes when something like that happens, but Hero was so well prepared for it. Snipes down that medevac. Blink was done at the perfect time. And now GuMiho, seeing these gateways out front here, and the Robo, and knowing Blink is done, he's getting set up for defense of a 3 to 4 gate Blink. It looks like it is going to be 3 gate Blink out of Hero with the follow-up Robo Bay. Follow-up Robo Bay and third base. Okay. So Hero's not super committed to this. He can get a lot of damage done with Blink Stalkers. The biggest thing he can do here is keep GuMiho defensive, keep all of his units back at home. Maybe he can pick off some stuff. He's going to go for a big Blink forward onto that tank. He gets the siege tank. And because there's only like 2 Marines in these bunkers, the Stalkers don't have to pay for that at all. Hero's going to warp in more units, deciding, hey, actually, I can just stick around here. I can commit a little heavier to this since this is looking so good. GuMiho, he's going to leapfrog these tanks forward a little bit, and he is going to send Hero back. Oh, Hero blinks forward again. Gets one of the tanks. The second one, though, shilling away still. Gets a couple of Stalker kills. Hero could blink these out. For now, they're just going to hold this position and be annoying while he sends the 4 in the Warp Prism into the main base. The Marines are here. It's going to make it a little harder for Hero to get too much damage done, but should be able to pick off a couple of SCVs or a couple of Marines here and get out for free. GuMiho actually can't retake these gases just yet. He needs to secure that position. Hero feeling like it's time to go. He's going to pull everything back. GuMiho's third base is up. Hero getting some nice damage done. His third base is up and running now. And it looks like he went for a Disruptor first before getting into the Colossi and Thermal Lance. Oh, he's found another opening here. Not enough Marines to defend this, and the Stalkers are just going to blink up. GuMiho decides that's it. He doesn't have enough army. He's already lost 2 tanks. He's losing all of his Marines before any of the upgrades are ready to go. And, I mean, despite not super committing to it, Hero just goes ahead and takes that game. It's so funny. Like, how did game 1 feel so lopsided for GuMiho, and then game 2 feels so lopsided for Hero? It's just a 3-gate blink, and he doesn't even commit to. He's teching and expanding behind it, which feels like it should be illegal to be able to tech and expand while attacking. But those Stalkers being so incredibly cost efficient. That GuMiho just didn't even have a chance. Oh, Fractal. I thought that was going to be a copy pasta, but that's actually a solid message. Fractal surprising me with a good message in chat. Yeah, I mean, I love the idea of adrenal glands. I love the way it functions. And I think it's really important for... one of my favorite things about late game StarCraft is that there's really not a unit that you can't utilize later on in the game. And that's kind of one of the hard things about StarCraft, is knowing what to build when. And that's why Zerg in the late game can have a very big advantage, obviously depending on a lot of factors, but they can tech switch much, much faster than and easier than the other races. So that can feel really difficult to deal with. Protoss can do that pretty well also. But it's really interesting. It's really important that all the units are viable later on in the game, depending on the game state, right? I don't think there's a unit that like becomes useless after a certain point because it can always come back around. It can always come back around, except for like Reapers. Those are useless after the like 5-minute mark, maybe 7-minute mark if you're beyond. But let's get into game 3 here, as I think we're going to see some proxy Reapers, perhaps. Spawning in the upper right-hand corner, we have Dragon Kites Gaming's Hero, who, well, he's got a little something near his base. His opponent dropping that little something. It is Cloud9's GuMiho. Oh, and Hero gets the scout. He sees this with his little probe. He knows GuMiho's tricks. GuMiho did proxy in the Natural of Oliveira earlier on this map, so this must be the strat here on Hecate. And with the 2 probes, he should be able to stop this coming up. It's getting pretty close, but there's only like 1 spot for this SCV to hide, and down it goes. It explodes. It's drill going over here. Parts of it went flying into the abyss. And Hero's just going to take the base. Obviously, this other SCV can come in here and finish this, but this has already gone fantastically for Hero. SCV is going to have to fully run away now. The Reaper's on its way, but I mean, the Cyber Core still feels so far away. I guess Reapers take a while to build, but Hero's not going to have any units out. Doesn't build a Zealot. This feels like it should be better for Hero than it currently is. Makes me wonder if his Cyber Core was late or something. He is going to Chrono the Stalker out. Oh, look at the probe pull. Oh, this is so cute. He's just going to immediately stop this Reaper from jumping up the cliff. Oh! All right, Reaper gets out of there. But they've already done so much damage to it. Now the Stalker's about to pop. This Reaper, this whole proxy situation gets shut completely down. And GuMiho's opening fails. But it's okay. GuMiho's got a backup. He's proxying a factory, but good news, guys. He already has a factory. So maybe the whole point of this was for it to kind of fail, right? Because now Hero, maybe he's feeling cocky. You know, he's like, nailed it, dude. Didn't lose anything, right? Killed an SCV, killed the Reaper. Probe's getting a bit of a citizen's arrest there. Stalker finishing it off. But Hero has no scouting info. He doesn't know what's on the other side of the map. He doesn't know that GuMiho's CC just started. He doesn't know that there's 2 factories on the map. One in GuMiho's base, one just out here by this half gold, because GuMiho's a beautiful, beautiful human. He sees the first Cyclone. That's not too much of a surprise. What is GuMiho doing over here? That is a reactored factory. So he'll have triple Cyclone production. But I'm a little worried for GuMiho right now. Hero might push across the map. Okay, no, he's stopped. For a second when these units are moving out, I thought he was just going to push straight across. Sometimes there's like a 3-gate opener you can do where you just push across the map. And that could have been a big problem for GuMiho. Cyclones are great against like a couple units, but they have a tough time against more units than that, especially if they're surprised. But GuMiho is about to have like a ton of Cyclones. Hero does have Blink about halfway done. He's got a 3rd gate on the way and the Robo on the way, so it looks like Hero is going to be able to have a lot of units fairly soon. He's got a shield battery. I don't think GuMiho is going to wait too much longer, though, before he starts pushing across the map. He has to go pretty soon. He's on, what, 5 Cyclones right now, with 3 more in production. That's going to be a lot of pressure. Shield batteries can be quite strong. There's some force fields available as well for Hero. And we'll see if GuMiho can break them. Blink is about to finish. Blink can be very, very strong against this. Blinking back, breaking those lock-ons, not quite as powerful as it used to be against Cyclones, but can still be really, really strong, keeping those Stalkers alive a little bit longer, or blinking forward, getting guaranteed kills on usually like 2 Cyclones. The Cyclones without their speed upgrade, which they do not have, are very slow. Oh, and that just got scouted. Hero just now sees this, and he's moving out. I think he's just going to blink on top of this. He's warping in 3 more Stalkers. Oh, GuMiho is so dead. I mean, Cyclones are good. Yeah, but they're just not that good. 2 more show up. That's going to help a little bit here. But he just gets caught with his pants down. GuMiho not expecting maybe Hero to go for the 3-gate blink again. I don't know why he would be expecting that not to be the case. But he gets caught completely out. Blink was done. Hero just blinks forward and kills the Cyclones. Turns out, pretty good strat. If you're wondering how to beat Cyclones and you're a Protoss, just play like Hero. And Hero will move on to yet another KSL Finals. GG.